My name is Yeono. I am 27 years old and I was born in South Korea. Um, well, I'm pretty much I wouldn't say secluded or isolated anymore, but I grew up rather lonely, and so I spend a lot of time inside my own head, and I think that my works try to express what was happening inside. A lot of my pieces depict nature and people in nature, and I feel like when I reconnected with nature is when I really found myself and I was able to express who I was better, or even actually learn who I am as a person, regardless of nationality or where I am, because I think that my pictures, through painting, I was able to find my own wonderland, a place where I belonged. Growing up as a kid, I was really lonely. I felt like I was trapped in almost like a glass castle in the sky, very secluded, away from everything else, away from other people, no real human connection. So I felt very much like an outsider living in a world of, fast-paced money and cars, but never really belonged. And so I felt really trapped in my environment. And so when I moved, I realized that nature is a place that can be warm and healing. So that's why most of my scenes are of that. And then my earlier works, I guess, kind of have a monk-like atmosphere, I guess. They're rather dark and gloomy. But, now learning to accept who I am and realize that the person I am isn't someone that should be looked down upon or, so negative. My work has become, the perspective has changed on my work. Well, as I said, I grew up and spent most of my childhood in Korea, and then I left for America to be with my own mother. And Korea was a very difficult time for me while I was living here. I experienced so much loneliness and depression and self-pity and wallowing. But had I not experienced that in Korea, I don't think I would be able to make the art I'm making now or be who I am today. And so I feel that now I can come back and face Korea again as a person who has grown up. And I still think that this country has so much to offer me because it is where I'm from and it is the opening chapter of my life. As I said earlier, Korea has a lot of bittersweet memories with me. The word is quite heavy. In fact, whenever I hear Korea, the word, I recall a lot of difficult times I had as a child, as I said, and I was just very lost in this country. But now, as I said, I wouldn't be who I am now if I hadn't lived in Korea before. And so it's always going to be a part of me, I can't deny it, and I never will. And I think that now I can benefit from being here as well, I can learn more about myself and develop further as a human. Honestly, speaking quite frankly, I don't really care how the Korean audience views my works, but it's not that I don't care how the Koreans take it in. It's more that I don't care how whatever country that person is from takes it in, you know? It's more that I want that human being to receive my art. And so I learned that, you know, home isn't where you're born. Home is where you find yourself, where you make yourself most comfortable, you know? And so I just wish that my pieces can express. So as I said, being rather lonely as a child, I never developed good social skills. So my art, I think, is a way for me to communicate with the public, you know, communicate with people, because expression through the visual medium is something that is comfortable for me.